Right, before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the Instagram at the Fishing Bloggers, and also follow the Facebook page, the Fishing Bloggers TV. Right then, let's get into the video. Right, and we're back on the bank. Completely different venue for me today. I've not been here before, so something a little bit different, which is quite nice. I'm doing not quite 24 hours, a little bit more than an overnighter basically. So I managed to finish work today, sort of early afternoon, and I've got pretty much till early afternoon tomorrow. So it was kind of 24 hours, but by the time I have to get packed up and have to get back to work, it's not going to be quite that. It's probably going to be more like sort of 20 hours, maybe a bit less, something like that, but still a reasonable bit of time. I've been there for probably 45 minutes, an hour, just done a little sort of lap of the half of the lake, which I've sort of booked to swim on. There's a few guys on the other half, and I've decided to come on the other half because there's no one on this side and there's no one booked on tonight, so hopefully I should have this half to myself. I initially booked swim 2. It's got quite a nice bit of water in front of it, but there's a lovely breeze pushing up this end, and it's quite warm at the moment. It's been about 15-16 degrees, which is one of the warmest days we've had so far this year, and we're just at the end of February, so very, very warm for this time of year. And the sun will be setting sort of in front of me and rising, I believe, sort of somewhere behind me, which means the far side reed line will get the sun in the morning, which I would think the fish would absolutely love and potentially would patrol along in the early hours, and as the sun comes up in the morning. So I'm pretty confident that that would be a really good morning zone. So I've decided to come right up that end, as I said. At the moment, potentially down in this other corner, down here, sort of around swims 1 and 2, might be worth a shot because it's quite flat and there's a good bit of sun on it. I don't know sort of depth wise what it's like, but imagine it's pretty shallow and relatively featureless other than the banks I cover. But I don't want to go on too much. I'm going to get the rod sorted. I've already had a look along with the Polaroids and had a look at potential couple of areas to put the rods to. So I'm going to have a little cast around with a bare lead, and then probably have a little look around with a deeper, as it's a perfect kind of place for it, and see what I can find, and yeah, we'll get some rods sorted. Oh, first brew of the day is always the best. Right, morning. So then, I didn't really get much of a chance to speak to you yesterday. I was very busy getting the rod sorted, and the light soon passed, and the dark set upon me, and I kind of run out of time to do any decent filming. I don't intend to do too many updates at night, because although you can kind of do a to the camera kind of update like this, I tend to find them a little bit boring. I don't know if anyone else minds, to be honest, but it's not really one for me. But yes, anyway, unfortunately it's been a quiet night. Nothing has happened other than I did have possibly a liner, could possibly have been done. I haven't checked the rod yet, to be honest, but I think it was probably a liner, and that was on the right hand rod. The right hand rod had actually a few fish crash over it, so yeah, unfortunately it didn't go. But also on the left hand rod, quite a big fish, say quite a big fish, it was an absolute unit, to be honest, rolled over the left hand rod twice. Don't know if it's the same fish or not, it probably was. To be fair, I was very confident of getting a bite. I'm amazed I haven't had one. There seem to be quite a few fish in the area. I went to bed about, or got in the bag about 11:30, and to be fair, I wanted to leave the rods and try and keep the swim as quiet as possible. So I decided to, I set the alarm for about 6:30, 7 it was, I think. But all I was going to do was just get up and just literally have a quick look around for sort of 5-10 minutes, just to see if there was anything sort of properly giving itself away. I didn't see anything, so I got back in the bag and then had another few hours. But I wanted to keep the swim quite quiet, so I thought if I could stay in the bag as long as possible, I'm not going to be walking around, I'm not going to be making any noise, so hopefully it might have meant the fish felt safer for longer. I was expecting it to be sunny this morning, which is one reason I picked this swim, because the sun would have been hitting the far bank, which would have been warming up my spots nicely. But it's actually very overcast, it was even a bit foggy, and it's a lot colder. So yeah, conditions wise it's definitely declined slightly, although the overcast is not too bad for fishing. The temperature's definitely not as good. But anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this up and I'll show you the swim, spin the camera around and actually show you sort of the spots I've gone with and kind of what I've done, just to give you an idea of how I've approached it. Like I said, it's not happened yet, but you never know, it might go off. And if it doesn't, it's just an indication of maybe next time I could try something different, or possibly the fish just weren't really on it. But they were active, so I'm surprised I haven't had one. But right then, I'm going to polish this off, have my breakfast, and I'll update you on what I've done in a bit. Right, so I've just reeled in the right hand rod, which I thought had been done on, and I have been, unfortunately. So the reason I know that is essentially there was a little stem over the point of the hook. So clearly, this is a wafter, so that would have gone down quite softly, and very unlikely that it would have caught anything on the way down. I've never had that sort of thing happen really before. Also the hair was slightly twisted, and I think what's happened is the fish has pretty much sucked that in, blown it out. On the way out it's obviously gone into some sort of like a little bit of reed, and the hook is also twisted around the hair. So fortunately I think I was done. I thought it seemed a bit of a excessive liner last night, and obviously I've got the bat leads on, so yeah, it was definitely a pickup, I think, which is a shame, but it's nice to know that someone, you know, showed some interest. So I did have a couple of fish over that rod, and I was expecting it to go, so at least potentially I had a chance. So oh well. Anyway, just to go into the rig, you can't use leaders or anything on here, so I've just got it straight onto the main line. I'm using a big inline lead. I love inlines, I love like solid bags because they're hooking potential, so I do really like inlines. I've started using them a lot more lately. So I've got a 3.5 ounce inline, that's straight through to my rig, which is about 10 inches long. This is the fox, one of the fox coated braids in a weedy green colour. That goes through to a Nash size 4 claw barbless. You've got to use barbless on here, and size 4 is the largest hook you can use. I do love a big hook. And then just on that I've got a little S7 wafter, just matching the free bait, you know, just matches the colour of the freebies I've put out. A food bait, not sort of a bright attractor bait. But that's the setup. Works on a lot of places, and I'm very confident with it. But yeah, let's get it back on the spot anyway, and see if we can get a fish. Right then, so I said I'd show you the spots and what I've been doing. So there's a little bit of sun coming through now, so hopefully it won't glare the lens too much. But essentially, see if I can see the trees. Right, where are we? So over here, we've got a couple of trees along here. I think it's this one here. Essentially, that's my what I would call big fish, greedy pig spot. Essentially, I baited that one pretty heavily. About 1.5 kilos, which for this time of year is quite a bit of bait, you know, end of February. But it's been quite mild lately, so I thought I'd give it a bit of a gamble and put a bit of bait in there. I've got a mix of the S7, Nutter S and Switch from the DNA range. The Switch is 8 millers, put about 0.5 kilo of those, and then the S7 and Nutter are both 60mm dumbbells, and I've obviously done them sort of 50-50. So that's sort of my big fish spot, or that was the plan. I thought I'd go in somewhere a little bit different on that one. And then basically the middle of the swim, this sort of general sort of area out here, like 3/4 of the way across to this corner. On the deeper, I actually saw a couple of fish showing, so I decided on that one I'd put just a light scattering of bait and just put one sort of 3/4 of the way across instead of sticking it right up against the reeds, which is the obvious feature. I thought as there were fish showing in that area, I would basically put one a little bit short of the far bank and spread a little bit of bait on there. I put about 20 baits on it initially, and then before I got in the bag I put another sort of 20 baits or so out there, so again that's not too much food. And the other one, there's a little tree, I believe there. Where is it? There. I've put one out in line with that, just off the reed line as it sort of comes up. It seems to sort of go a little bit deeper by the reeds. So as it sort of comes up a little bit shallow, so not right in the reeds, but just short of them, I've put one there as well. And that one again only had about 40 baits. Again, a mix of S7 and Nutter S, and yeah, I just put about 40 baits on there, and then I topped it up again with 20 or 30 baits before I got in the bag. But the reason I put out a little bit more bait is basically before I got in the bag, I'd heard quite a few fish show last night, and the left rod, which had the most bait on it, quite a big fish coming out over it, and I was actually pretty confident I was going to have a fish off that. I ended up getting a bit of an aborted take, which I thought was a liner, but it was a bit of an aborted take on the right rod, and that's the one which probably had the maybe sort of 60 to 80 baits around it, but 2 fish come out over the top of that as well. Now I don't know why I didn't have anything else, because there were definitely a few fish in the area, but maybe they just weren't feeding. It did go pretty cold last night. I had so much condensation on the inside of the brolly, it was literally dripping everywhere. I should have put the overwrap on actually to try and get rid of the condensation, but it wasn't that cold, so I couldn't really be bothered, to be honest. But yeah, so that was the spots. Unfortunately it's not happened, and I've only got a couple of hours left to go. But I've had to just have a little bit of an indication on the right rod, which might have been a bit of a liner, or I'm not too sure, but hopefully I haven't been done again. But yeah, other than that, I haven't seen a single fish roll today. I haven't seen anything show. It seems that they're showing potentially at night, because as soon as it went dark, it almost come alive. But oh well, we'll give it a little bit longer. Hopefully we can get one. But yeah, what can you do? So I had to have a mouthful of tea, sorry about that. So last update of the day then, rods are on the deck, very loose clutches. No, I'm not planning on doing an ollie before anyone says it. If anyone's seen the Nash Urban Banks 5, is it? I'm sure you know what I mean, where Ollie goes for a swim after his rod disappears into the lake. Anyway, unfortunately, yeah, like I said, it's time to go home. Nothing's really happening. I ain't going to be bringing the rods in a second. Bit of a shame that it's not really happened. I've been quite unfortunate, I think, that last night, which I thought was a liner, was clearly a fish doing me. So unfortunately, looks like the odds are in the carp. God favours today, but that's just how it is. Can't always catch one. I've been quite enjoyed being there actually. It's quite an easy place to fish, if I'm honest. It's relatively, well, I say relatively, it's very comfortable. Swims are all well barked. You know, you've got a lovely path from the car park, easy to barrier your kit. To be fair, you can park at the end, so if you haven't got a barrier, you could quite easily carry your kit up to the end of the swims within a few trips. So it's a big lake, you haven't got too far to walk. But yeah, it's a nice fishery, very, very quiet at night. Literally, you could hear you could hear a pin drop last night. And you've got lovely open swims, very easy to fish. You know, I'm not used to this sort of thing really. It's only the past sort of year or so that I've started fishing these kind of day tickets. I'm much more used to my syndicate waters and sort of some of the places up in the Cotswolds where they're a little bit more natural, I suppose. But you know, when you're doing an overnighter, these sort of places are actually really comfortable and easy to fish. Typically there's a helicopter now going over and ruining my audio, so sorry about that, but I'm not going to redo it again because I do need to try and get on the road, to be fair. So anyway, that's the session. Like I said, it's not happened, but it's been a nice venue. Some are different to fish. What I would say is more than likely me and Hugh will probably come back here together. And what we will probably do is try and do a little bit more of a review of the lake, so try and have a little walk around and show you some of the swims and give you a bit of a better idea of sort of what's on offer, because I'll be honest, before I come here I tried to find some info and there weren't many people I could get info off of, other than the odd video on YouTube. Chris Fennell, Mr. Carp King, he'd done a few videos on there over the years.
Hello and welcome to episode 134. And for this video I've come down to the festival carp fishery.
So I managed to speak to him and get a little bit of info, but there weren't really many videos that actually showed the lake in for what it is, and you know, it was a bit of you were coming in a little bit blind, which is fine, you know, it's fine, but because I was only coming for a short sesh really, sometimes it's nice to sort of build up a bit of a picture, so when you get here you actually know what to expect. So anyway, at least I've been here now, I know what to expect. So yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to reel those rods in. Barrow is basically loaded. There's a few bits and bobs scattered around, but I'm going to tidy everything up, get the rods reeled in, go back to the car, and unfortunately I'm going to go to work. But anyway, we all have to at some point, don't we? So anyway, thanks for watching. If you do like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get up-to-date notifications. Also follow the Instagram page at The Fishing Bloggers, check out the Facebook page, The Fishing Bloggers TV, and we will see you again soon. Without what? I haven't got anything else to say, to be honest. Unfortunately it's been a blank, but just to finish off I will say, last year, and to be fair, the few years that I've done these blogs, I've never really bothered putting up blanks, because I actually thought to myself, what are you really gaining from watching me blanking? But to be fair, I've watched a few videos where people have blanked, and it does actually give you an indication of potentially what not to do. It also gives you an idea of the lake. You can see what someone's done. You know, they may have found spots, and those spots just haven't actually been productive on that day. And I actually think you do learn quite a bit from someone blanking. So I am going to start uploading a few of the blanks on particular venues. So if I've gone somewhere and I think it could benefit you in a way, I will try and edit it and upload it. I haven't done it in the past because I always thought, what's the point of me spending the time to edit and upload a blog of me blanking? Does anyone really want to see that? But potentially, I think you guys might find it interesting. If you do, just leave me a comment below and just let me know if you do want to see that sort of stuff, because I do think you know, if you don't want to see it, I won't bother. But I see a lot of people uploading blanks, and actually they still get a load of views. People still seem to be quite positive about it, and it almost, I think, gives them an idea of what to expect when they go somewhere. So I will probably be uploading blanks, so this is probably the first proper blank I think I've ever uploaded. But yeah, anyway, Like I said, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon for up-to-date notifications, check out the Instagram at the Fishing Bloggers, follow the Facebook page, the Fishing Bloggers TV. Now that I've got that mouthful out, I am going to bring the rods in. It's time to go home. Thanks for watching, be lucky, see you again soon.